I believe Bill Belichick took a college coaching job because he wasn't sure he was ever going to be offered another NFL job. I believe that a lot of people around the NFL, GMs, owners, decision makers, had come around to thinking the same way I've been thinking and saying for, the last 10 years about Bill Belichick, the GOAT coach. Way overrated as an NFL head coach. Very good defensive coordinator, one of the greatest ever, but as an overall head coach, product of Tom Brady in New England. Look what happened in Cleveland. The numbers don't lie about this. Tell me I'm wrong about this. In Cleveland, Bill Belichick as head coach went 30-34. He went 1-1 in the postseason. Then he gets the New England job after he got fired in Cleveland. He goes 5-11 the first year and falls to 0-2 the second year before that guy Brady fell out of heaven into his lap out of the 6th round. And the rest is history. But without Tom Brady in New England, without Brady, Bill Belichick was 34-51. And once he and Robert Kraft pushed Tom Brady out the back door, and he wound up in Tampa and a Super Bowl immediately happened in a pandemic year, without Tom Brady for those last 4 years in New England, Bill Belichick went 29-38. He made the playoffs one time, played one playoff game at Buffalo, and Buffalo played the perfect offensive game. They never punted against the vaunted Bill Belichick defense. Way overrated. Tom Brady won 6 Super Bowls with Bill Belichick in New England, but all 6 came when Tom Brady pulled off the game-winning drive in the 4th quarter or overtime of all 6. That's extraordinary. And that's why Bill Belichick, without Tom Brady, got exposed in New England. He was actually getting exposed in 2 of the Super Bowls that Brady lost. Brady should have 2 more Super Bowl rings in New England. The first Eli Super Bowl, Brady did what Brady always does and did. He drove the Patriots down, hit Randy Moss with what looked like the game-winning touchdown pass with 2 minutes left. The first Eli Super Bowl. It's 14-10 New England. And Bill Belichick's vaunted defense, the GOAT coach, Eli drives 75 yards against. It took a couple of fluky plays, but hit Plaxico with the game-winning touchdown pass near the buzzer. And Eli steals it from Bill Belichick, not from Tom Brady, from Belichick. And then remember the second Eagles Super Bowl? Bill Belichick mysteriously benches Malcolm Butler. I never heard an explanation for it. And allows the backup Eagles quarterback Nick Foles to score 41 points in a Super Bowl on his vaunted defense, while Tom Brady was throwing for an all-time playoff record, not just a Super Bowl record, 505 yards, and they lost 41-33 because of Belichick's defense. Tom Brady saved Bill Belichick. He allowed Belichick to be what he was, which was an anachronism, an old school tyrant of a head coach who got away with coaching old school ways and means, and he was mean-spirited, sarcastic, foul-mouthed. He got away with coaching today's players that way because he had the all-time buffer in the locker room and Tom Brady telling other veteran players, new players, young star players, and it's okay, ignore him. It's just the way he is. We'll win in spite of him. That same Tom Brady invited Belichick to his roast. Did you watch that on Netflix? Did you see Brady bring down the house with that tirade against Belichick at the end, in which Brady, and I quote, said, I know he was roasting back, he was repaying Belichick for the roast, but this was very close to painful truth. Brady said, When I go to the Indy 500, I don't ask the winning driver, hey, who gassed up your car? That in the end is what Tom Brady deep down felt about Bill Belichick. He was just gassing up the car that Brady drove to win 6 Indy 500s that should have been 7 and 8 Indy 500s while he was a New England Patriot. And then Brady went and proved it by taking a 7-9 Tampa Bay team in a pandemic season to a Super Bowl championship. What? It was all about Brady. I used to say 75% Brady. I think it's closer to 80-20. I'll give Belichick 20% credit. But without Brady, post-Brady, Belichick got exposed to the point that I think people around the NFL were saying, no, 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 no. So he took the Carolina job, and I congratulate the University of North Carolina. It's a very good school. Been there, love it. Great tradition, starting with Michael Jeffrey Jordan. But football has been sleeping giant. I'll call it a sleeping giant because once upon a time it was pretty gigantic. And Belichick, on just star power alone, it's fake star power. He got exposed. He's way overrated and overhyped. But because of his mystique, the Brady-fueled mystique that Brady gassed up, that mystique alone is worth the $10 million they'll pay Bill Belichick going forward at North Carolina. That's $5 million more than Mac Brown was making when he was the head coach. I love Mac Brown. Wish him well. Belichick, not a nice guy, still a tyrant, still an egomaniac, but still brings the Brady-fueled mystique that will help put Carolina back on the football map. It was a great move, worth every penny of $10 million, but I was a little surprised. Only 3 years? Maybe the powers that be at North Carolina are also wondering if Bill Belichick's a little fraudulent. They need his mystique, his drawing power, just his Q rating, just on sheer name value. He'll be able to recruit. He's already made it clear he's going to run an NFL pipeline program. Come and play for us, and I'll get you to the NFL, and that will be very valuable to start with in recruiting. But as time wears on, and Bill Belichick tries to keep coaching the way he did at New England, old school tyrant, iron-fisted, it would have worked before the portal, but I don't know that it's going to work now. Before the portal, you had to stay at least 3 years in college and mostly 4 years in college. So Belichick could have gotten away with being old school tyrant Belichick the way he was in New England in college football. Maybe when his dad was coaching in college football, this Belichick could have gotten away with it. I'm not sure he can now. The players will be in awe of him for a year, and then they're going to start looking sideways like, we have to put up with that from that little guy? The guy who never played football, played D3, mostly lacrosse, more than football. But, man, he thinks he is the GOAT, and he will coach as if he is the GOAT. And it will not be fun. By the way, the GOAT to me was Bill Walsh. Knew him well, close with Bill Walsh. But you want to talk about a football coach who did it all, who picked the players, who invented an offense that still lives, the West Coast offense, called the plays, supervised the defense. That's a head coach to me. Yeah, he had Joe Montana, but he handpicked Joe Montana. And he helped make Joe Montana with that West Coast offense. Belichick can't claim any of that about Tom Brady. So I'm happy for Carolina. I think it will work very well for Carolina for a year or so. And then slowly but surely, I think even in college football, Bill Belichick will get exposed. In the end, tell me I'm wrong about this. The numbers don't lie. I'm going to say it again. In New England, without Tom Brady, Bill Belichick was 34-51. What? 17 games under 500 just in New England without Tom Brady. 30 and 34 in Cleveland, obviously without Tom Brady. I think he was what his mentor Bill Parcells called a JAG, just another guy. Completely overrated, ultimately exposed. But congratulations to North Carolina, at least for a while.